Hail! Oh my god!
Oh.
The storm has now arrived. Just lovely. 2 days before spring. No sign of that anytime soon for the next few days. Look at that. This came in from these clouds earlier. Hey guys, the Storm Boy 13 here. This is just a very brief video. This is just about, I bet you want to know. Some of you may not, but I want to do it anyway. Why has the UK been so cold over the last few days? And why are we seeing so much snow? Well, as you know, not everywhere's been seeing these conditions. I mean, we've had a bit of covering, but nowhere near as much as North Yorkshire, for example, which is, we had a weather system, basically. Today's filming is Tuesday, 27th February, so it's the second day of the Snow Chaos week. We had a weather system which came in from, like, I think it was the North Sea or Norwegian Sea. Basically, the winds came in from that easterly direction. So we was due to a weather system. We had an amber warning of snow initially. It was downgraded to yellow. The system was slightly further north, because if that system was further south where we was, it could have been an even worse matter today as I speak, with heavier interludes, probably difficult to get back and travelling, and much thicker accumulations than this. So, but Yorkshire had the broad brunt of the storm today. 44 schools were closed as a result, a couple around in Wales, mainly northern England primarily, the schools have been shut. Now, the next few days, the reason why it's so cold is, let's go through the basic details, because you probably want to know, why is the UK so cold right now, where temperatures have struggled to get above freezing all day? Well, blame the stratosphere warming. Now, up near the North Pole, we have winds on average, so circulating around in an anti-clockwise direction, which is the same direction as well the jet stream brings, you know, westerly. So we usually get the mild rainy weather and stuff like that, so it's nowhere near as cold, even though, because we usually live in an island, so we have we live in a temperate climate where it's not extremely cold nor extremely hot, usually on most days. However though, over the last week, or nearly a week, it's reversed direction. It's came in from a clockwise direction. You know it is near the North Pole, around in Greenland area. Basically, that's coming in a clockwise direction. So, particularly for the North Pole, whenever those winds come from like say an upward trend or something, when it reaches the up arrow, that's where the air's coming from like the North Greenway and stuff. You know, Iceland, Greenland. Temperatures are actually slightly above freezing, which is not far off to what we have right now, but the average temperature is significantly lower, and in comparison it feels so much warmer there. It's like it's a late winter, maybe early spring heat wave there. Thus, we've got an easterly wind, which we don't often usually get, but because we got the winds directly from Siberia, that's dragged all that air across our country. So that's why temperatures have been not far off, 10 degrees lower than they usually would be at this time of the year. Today's top temperature in our region is 0, the average is 8, so that's pretty much quite an exceptionally cold day for late February. But but weather forecasters have said that we don't usually get this kind of weather very often. It's been a number of years since we've had this kind of dramatic weather, that's why. Because although high pressure is quite high at the moment, there has been lots of showers across, you know, like I said, it was an EC that's blown directly in our direction, and that's why today, well, we had some yesterday, but there's been more snow around today. So, pressure will drop. So let's go for the next few days. As we know, as I said on Wednesday, I'm just focusing for the whole of the UK. More snow showers tomorrow. Anywhere can catch one tomorrow, even further west. Scotland's going to board the brunt tomorrow. Aberdeen, Glasgow, Edinburgh, parts of eastern Scotland is going to get some pretty tricky conditions tomorrow, so not going to be easy. I haven't checked the weather lately, so that's what I think it is. It may be upgraded, so don't take this too literally. So Scotland's boarding the brunt of the winter weather. Then on Thursday and Friday, southern areas of the UK, probably western areas and then eastern areas, we're going to see another winter front. Now, don't take like I said, the position is not too literate still completely yet, but as we know, we could get between 5 and 15 centimetres of snow in some areas, depending how much snow we may fall. And plus, it's not just the snow that's going to be a real hazard, it's the wind. And some places could get some unusually low temperatures, particularly on Thursday. Many areas will struggle to get above freezing. Some areas will even struggle to get above -3 degrees Celsius. That is just how exceptional our weather is, and we very rarely get these kind of temperatures as well. And then Friday is quite of a widespread snowy kind of spell. So roughly 2/3 of the UK, particularly central southern England, will get a dose of some particularly heavy, quite sharp, maybe potentially blizzardly kind of conditions as well. So it is going to be an extremely poor start to spring. And even on Saturday, when the temperatures will rise a little bit, we may still see further snow, and so that air will come in. Well, luckily the winds will be coming in from a reasonably good direction, but because the air is much further south, probably not far from Africa where the really warmest air is, even when we get the winds coming from a southerly direction, it's going to take such a long time for that air to warm up, which we may get winds from a westerly direction probably next week. Still, at this time of year, well, because of the airstream being so low, the jet stream much further south, it's still not going to get that much warmer next week. 5 to 8 Celsius, okay, it's better, but it's not nothing like what we usually see. That's what we usually expect around January, early February time. So, and the last time we've had this kind of snow spell this late in the season was 5 years ago in 2013. But it's not the latest outbreaks of snow we've ever had, though. You're more likely to see snow. Yeah, it always happens. Good luck with that, I really do mean that. Alright, no major hazards. Back to where I was. It's not the latest outbreaks of snow we've ever had. 2013, we've had a spell of some heavy snow, same direction or very similar direction, and ironically, that happened at the end of March and even in the beginning stages of April, which is extremely unusual for the time of the year. So expecting that kind of weather, well, not what I'm saying, but what I'm saying is that will be even more unusual. We very rarely get this kind of weather conditions, thankfully. But the latest, well, we didn't have a constant spell of snow because it's obviously late in the season, the average temperature will get higher. But the latest spell of snow I've ever seen was on the 26th of April, which was literally a few days before May. We've had an unusually cold northerly direction and temperatures were so low, you way struggled to get above double figures at least, let alone average. So occasionally with our UK weather, extraordinary events can happen. It's, as I said, it's more likely to snow in March than in December. The reason why that is, apparently it's something to do with the ocean temperature. The sea temperatures are warmer in December than in March. They can drop by about 5-6 degrees, something like that. So it has more of an uplifting chance of catching some snow, particularly when you get northwesterly winds. You're more likely to see wintry showers than in March than in December. Just a theory, that's what's the likely scenarios is. It's more likely to snow in December than in March, not because of the average temperature, but probably because of the sea temperature. So, hope you heard me clearly. Sorry, I stumbled my words a little bit throughout the video, just because it's so cold outside and it's distracting me as well, so I'm going to get indoors. Stay safe, guys, if you're watching this in the next few days. Keep warm, and the next few days it is going to be a wild ride. If you want me to do any more videos, comment below, and obviously I'm here for you. So the storm is now out. Stay warm.